What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Spencer. So, if you guys have been paying attention to what's going on Yu-Gi-Oh right now, it's like a literal storm. Because this adventure brave token, it was usually called, I think they're calling it adventure tokens now. But this adventure token engine is just, it's insane. Everybody's using it. It seems like it's gonna be the most commonly used like asset in Yu-Gi-Oh amongst all decks. It like makes every deck better simply because it produces like an Omni Negate, and it also produces a whole bunch of extenders. And in Phantom Knight specifically, it's very good because one of the like play starters is, you know, this Water Enchantress of the Temple. It's a level 3. So if you guys don't know much about Phantom Knights, this video is going to be for you. If you guys don't know about the Adventure token, this deck or this video is also going to be for you. This is the step-by-step combo tutorial. I found this on a DB Grindr video. I will link where I found it in the description. The reason I make these videos is because, you know, whenever like people who play the game competitively, like they know, they just say effective this, effective that, and it happens so fast. If you haven't read the cards, you'd have no idea what's going on, like me. Like that's why I make these videos too. I think it helps me just to learn these cards. So hopefully I can do the same thing for you. I'm literally going to go step by step. I'm going to read what all these card texts do, and then hopefully it makes much more sense, and you know, you're better for it. So we'll go ahead and start here. This is like a 3-card combo. There are 2 other blank cards, so don't really worry about what those are. You can go full combo with just this alone. So this is Rite of Adevneture, we'll call it. Basically, if you control no adventure token, you get to summon one, and it's a level 4, 2000 attack, 2000 defense, which is kind of insane. Then if you do not control Fateful Adventure, you get to place a Fateful Adventure, basically you get to place the card from your deck face up in your spell and trap zone. You cannot activate the effects of monsters on the field the turn you activate this card except special summon monsters. Not a worry at all. They're like the normal summon doesn't matter. It's just used as link material, you know, for this combo. So we'll go ahead and make that token here. Then from the hand we can go ahead and, or I said from the deck, you can grab that Fateful Adventure. This text is going to get cleaned up a little bit, I think, when it comes out in the TCG, but okay, we'll go ahead and read it. Once per turn, the first time a monster you control equipped with an equipped card would be destroyed by battle. It is not, I guess it's pretty decent, but more importantly, you can only use each of the following effects of this card once per turn. During the main phase, you can add one monster that mentions, that's the word that I think is kind of funky, adventure token from your deck to your hand. So that can either be like, you know, equipped card or a monster. We're going to be searching out a monster, but then you do have to send one card from your deck to the graveyard. Now, there are 2 blanks, but luckily with the hand that we have now, we're going to actually search out the discard fodder. Then if a monster is normal or special summon, you can take one equipped spell that mentions adventure token from your deck and either add it to your hand or equip it to one adventure token you control. You don't have to worry about that for the context of this combo. Then from the hand, we can go ahead and activate Water Enchantress of the Temple. If you control an adventure token, you get to special summon this card from your hand. It's a free special summon, which is kind of nuts, but you can also banish this card from your hand or graveyard to add one Rite of Adevneture from your deck or graveyard to your hand if you control an adventure token. And then you can place one field spell that mentions adventure token from your deck face up in your field zone. Don't worry about that. Field spell, I think is probably garbage, or at the very least, people are using it as an engine. Do not use the field spell. That's all I know. So yeah, we get that free special summon. So it's kind of nuts. You get to use a free special summon and then, you know, banish from the graveyard to also search, you know, Fateful Adventure, which is really, really good. Then we can go ahead and normal summon this Phantom Knights of Silent Boots. Like I said, these are 2 level 3s, so if you can guess, we're going to go ahead and go into Cherubini, which requires 2 level 3 monsters. It's like an X-Seed monster that's a link. It's kind of strange. Monster this card points you cannot be destroyed by card effects. If this card would be destroyed by battle or an opponent's card effect, you can send one other card you control to the graveyard instead. Not important. You can send one level 3 monster from your deck to your graveyard, then target one Burning Abyss monster on the field. It gains attack and defense equal to the attack defense of the monster sent to the graveyard until the end of this turn. If you guys are unaware with this card, like what makes this card so good, besides being able to Foolish Burial, basically the effect to send is the cost, if that makes sense. The attack boost, which is meaningless, you know, they can imperm this, but the monster that you need to send to the graveyard is still going through. That's why this card is just so amazing. So we can go ahead and use the effect, like I said, to banish, to add the Rite of Adevneture, which we used in the beginning of this turn. But that's important because of this card, right? Like I said, we're going to search our own discard fodder, which is going to be this card. So we're going to add a card that has, you know, adventure token in its name, and that's Wandering Griffin Rider. During the main phase, if you control no monsters or control an adventure token, which is, this card's insane because it doesn't say like if you control no monsters or only an adventure token. It's like you just have to control that adventure token. It's a free special from the hand. Then when a card or effect is activated while you control that adventure token, you can shuffle this card into the deck, and if you do, negate that activation. And if you do that, destroy the card. So it's an Omni Negate that you've just searched out from the deck. Then we can discard that Rite of Amicia that we searched earlier. Then we can go ahead and special summon this, so any sort of interaction your opponent has for the rest of this turn is just completely turned off. We can use the effective Cherubini to send, so we're going to go ahead and send a Graph. Not too important, but the secondary effect is the most important. If this card is sent to the graveyard, you can special summon one Burning Abyss monster from your deck. So that's exactly what we're going to do. And this gains attack, like I said, but only a secondary effect. So that was sent to the graveyard. So from the deck, we can go ahead and special summon, the Seer. Okay, so again, a lot of text. It's from the Burning Abyss archetype, but the important effect, if this card is sent to the graveyard, you can target one Burning Abyss monster in your graveyard and then special summon it. So that will definitely come up. So you can go ahead and convert those two into Rusty Bardige. It's just a, 2+ dark monsters. This card's been around for a long time. I'll quickly go through it. During the main phase, you can send the Phantom Knights monster from your deck to the graveyard. Then you get to set a Phantom Knight spell and trap directly from your deck to the spell and trap zone. That's basically all I need to know for this combo. Just know that it dumps and then sets from the deck. That effect of Seer to bring back a Burning Abyss monster. We're going to go ahead and bring back the Cherubini, which is pretty nice. Effective Rusty Bardige to go ahead and send from our deck the Phantom Knights of Torn Scales and set a Fogblade. Fogblade is just free interruption. This is an extender, like multiple extenders. This helps you plus so much. It's kind of insane, actually. If you can remember, we did normal summon that Silent Boots at the beginning of this turn. This basically lets you banish and then add a Phantom Knight spell and trap from your deck to your hand. So we're going to add to our hand the Phantom Knight's Wing, which is going to go ahead and trigger the Torn Scales from the graveyard. And if you don't know why that just happened, basically, if another Phantom Knights card in your graveyard is banished while this card is in your graveyard, it's a free special summon, but then banish it when it leaves the field, which you can get around by Exit summoning. So you can get follow up for the next turn, if it lasts that long, if the duel lasts that long, which it probably won't. There's another effect. You can discard one card, send one Phantom Knights card from your deck to your hand, from your deck to the graveyard. Like I said, this card gives you an extreme amount of advantage. So we can go ahead and dump that, Wing, and send from our deck to the hand an Ancient Cloak. Ancient Cloak can activate, so you get to banish and add a Phantom Knights monster from deck to hand. There's also a secondary effect that'll come up in just a moment. We'll get to it when it gets there. We did search out the Phantom Boots, but the cool thing is, like, if you control a Phantom Knights monster, it's a free special summon. So we already did use the effect, to search, but the free special summon is also in play here. So that's what we need it for, because we're going to go into a rank 3. This is also a card I think that's been around for a really long time. Levier, the Sea Dragon. Pretty simple. You get to attach material from this card, then target one banished level 4 or lower monster. Special summon that card to your field. So you can go ahead and just, detach to special summon the Phantom Knights of Ancient Cloaks. Very important thing here is that you special summon in attack position, and you'll see why in a second. You can convert those two meaning the Levier and the Cherubini, into an artifact Dagda. So when the effect of another card on the field, literally any card, you get to set one artifact monster from your hand or deck to your spell and trap zone, but destroy it during your opponent's next end phase, but we're going to be triggering that. Don't worry about the secondary effect, that's all you need to know. The reason we special summon this into attack position, because if this card is in attack position, you can target one dark monster on the field, change this card to defense position, and if you do, that monster gains 800 attack until the end of your opponent's turn. Now, that's pretty decent, I guess, just in general, but, the ability to activate a card on the field with Dagda, that's what you really need to worry about, right? So that's going to trigger Dagda since a card on the field was activated, and then we're going to set from the deck the artifact Scythe. So when this card is popped, basically you get to special summon it, and then your opponent cannot special summon from the extra deck for the rest of the turn. I thought this card would be banned during the ban list. It wasn't. It'll be around for at least another format. I think it's kind of due to be banned, or at least maybe you want to ban Dagda. I don't know how they're going to play it, but it's kind of insane that this card's out, for the format. Then we can go ahead and convert those two meaning the Dagda and the Ancient Cloaks, and go into Predaplant Verde Anaconda. Pay 2k, dump Fusion Destiny, dump the 2 cards there. I think this is pretty standard. I mean, I guess there's a few other targets, but everyone typically runs Dasher and Celestial. Celestial, everybody runs, but the second card, I've seen a few different ones, but the Dasher, when you have no cards in your hand, you get to draw 2 cards. It's just stupid. This card I could also see being banned someday, although I guess Fusion Destiny LP probably long gone before that even happens. But we do get to use the Phoenix Enforcer, meaning that during our opponent's turn, because this is the end board here, we're going to be able to pop this Scythe Scythe can special summon, so our opponent's not going to be able to go into the extra deck. Also have the Fog Blade, also have the Omni Negate, but of course the Scythe is going to do the majority of work against like almost every meta deck in the format, which is why I think this card should be banned, because stopping your opponent from doing something completely like normally just isn't a good idea, right? You know, when I think about VFD, it stops you from using monster effects, stopping you from going into the extra deck, unless it's an archetype thing, right? Like a Monarchs, like that's the whole idea behind the deck. Like this is just an easily accessible card for literally any archetype because of Dagda's existence. But hopefully this is a good introduction for the Adventure token if you guys don't know what it does. Obviously this is a very good end board. I'm going to try to do some other stuff. I know there's like I think MBT called it like a kitchen sink deck that seems to be getting really popular. It's like this Tenyi Hulk deck, that adventure thing that just produces a lot of good stuff, but this is like a really popular version of Phantom Knights. I think it's like literally the only way to play the deck now. So yeah, other than that, that's going to do it for today's video, and I will see you guys next time.